primarily Gordon of McHenry County Jewish congregation. This week's Torah reading is called Chukat, and several things happen in this reading. First, Miriam dies. And right after that, it says that the people did not have water. And because of that, we think of Miriam as being one who could find wells and find water in the wilderness. Now, what's significant particularly is the people are complaining to Moses that they don't have water. Well, a person can't live without water. And God says to Moses, "Speak to the rock that it may give forth water." Now, if we go back to the last time that this happened, that it's recorded in the Torah, Moses is told to strike the rock. This time he's told to speak to the rock. But what does Moses do? Well, first of all, he says to the people, "Listen, you rebels, shall we get water for you out of this rock?" And he struck the rock twice very hard with his rod. Out came water. There was a problem here, a problem or two. And God says, because you didn't trust me enough to simply speak to the rock and water would pour forth, meaning it would be a greater miracle than if he struck the rock, because maybe he just dislodged something and water came out. No miracle there. Because of that, you shall not lead this congregation into the promised land. Whoa. This is what Moses has been working for how many years? Doesn't really tell us how far into the 40 years this is. I think the very serious thing, the other very serious thing that Moses did was he yelled at the people. He yelled at the people because they were thirsty. Now, some say he was in a bad mood because his sister Miriam had just died. But I think what's happening here is God is thinking to God's self, so to speak, that maybe Moses is not fit to lead much longer. He's getting frustrated with the people, which is understandable. But until then, he's been able to control that frustration. And so, it tells us in the text that God then appoints Joshua to be the next leader when Moses dies. Now, Moses doesn't die for a while yet. We don't know how long it is exactly. But sometimes, even though it is a leader who means the best for the people, which we talked about last week, they get to a point where they're no longer functioning in the way they need to do the best job. So, and this is another aspect of leadership. When is it time for a leader to step down and new leadership is needed for a new situation? And that will be going into the land, which is different than leading the people through the desert. So 2 portions in a row here dealing with leadership in the Torah, which certainly both lessons are applicable to us today. And we find that every week in the Torah there's something that is meaningful to us when we look at our situation today, whether it's our personal situation or our societal situation. Keep that in mind when you pick up your Bible. There's always something there that's pertinent. Lehitraot, till next time.